You sit down after a long day, open a streaming app, scroll through hundreds of new things, and somehow choose the same show again. Same characters, same jokes, same apartment, same theme music. You already know what happens, and that is exactly why it works. To an outside observer, rewatching can look lazy. Why repeat a story when there is an endless library waiting? But the brain is not always searching for novelty. Sometimes it is searching for safety, low effort, and a world where nothing unexpected can ambush your mood. This is why comfort shows become emotional furniture. They are not just entertainment. They become familiar rooms you can enter when your real life feels too loud, too uncertain, or too full of decisions. The first hook is predictability. A new show asks your brain to prepare for surprise. New people, new rules, new danger, new emotional turns. A comfort show removes that risk. Your nervous system already knows the shape of the ride. When you know the ending, the body can relax earlier. The conflict is not as threatening because some part of you remembers that it resolves. The awkward scene, the breakup, the misunderstanding, the argument, the cliffhanger. They all become safe because they are already mapped. That predictability matters most when life feels unpredictable. If work is unstable, relationships are tense, money is tight, or the news feels endless, the known episode becomes a small, controlled environment. It is one place where the brain does not have to brace. The second reason is decision fatigue. Modern streaming gives you more choice than any person can comfortably process. Every thumbnail becomes a tiny demand. Choose correctly. Do not waste time. Find something worth your attention. After a full day of choices, the brain may not want another menu. Rewatching solves the problem instantly. You skip the search, skip the gamble, and enter a world where the emotional reward is almost guaranteed. That is why the same show can feel better than something objectively new and exciting. The point is not maximum novelty. The point is minimum friction. A comfort show begins working before the first joke lands, because the act of choosing it is already a relief. There is also a memory effect. Familiar shows become tied to earlier versions of your life. You may remember watching them after school, during a breakup, in a first apartment, with a sibling, or during a time when things felt simpler. Nostalgia is not just looking backward. It can regulate emotion in the present. When a show carries old feelings, old routines, and old places, it can make you feel continuous, as if the person you used to be is still reachable. This is why a comfort show can feel like a time capsule. The screen is showing characters, but your brain is also replaying your own life around them. The room you watched in, the snacks, the weather, the people, the version of yourself who needed that story then. The fourth reason is social comfort. Humans are built to care about familiar faces and voices. Over time, characters can start to feel like people you know, even though the relationship is one-sided. Psychologists call this parasocial connection. You do not actually know the character, but your brain can still feel a soft version of companionship. Their voice, habits, expressions, and predictable reactions become emotionally available. That can matter when you feel lonely, tired, or socially overloaded. Real people require effort, timing, explanation, and vulnerability. Familiar characters ask for nothing. They simply appear exactly as you remember them. A comfort show can therefore feel like being around friends without having to perform friendship. You can be quiet. You can be messy. You can half-watch. The show does not judge you for needing the same episode again. Rewatching also lowers cognitive load. New stories require tracking names, motives, settings, rules, and plot twists. Familiar stories let the brain coast. You can fold laundry, eat dinner, recover from stress, or simply exist without working hard to understand. That low effort can be restorative. When attention has been used up, the brain often chooses media that matches the energy available. A comfort show says, you do not have to solve anything right now. There is a deeper emotional trick, too. Because you know what is coming, you get to feel in control of your feelings. You can anticipate the funny scene, prepare for the sad scene, and enjoy the warm ending before it arrives. That is not the same as being numb. It is a controlled emotional workout. You still feel something, but the feelings arrive inside a container you trust. The brain gets emotion without uncertainty.
This is why people often return to comfort shows during stress, grief, illness, anxiety, or big change. The show becomes a repeatable ritual: the couch, the blanket, the opening scene, the familiar rhythm. Rituals tell the nervous system that some things are still stable. The show may also protect identity. When life changes fast, familiar media can remind you of your taste, your humor, your history, and your private emotional landmarks. It says even if everything is changing, this part of you is still here. But rewatching can have two sides. Used gently, it is comfort. Used constantly to avoid every hard feeling, it can become hiding. The difference is whether the show helps you recover or whether it keeps you from returning to life. A healthy comfort watch leaves you softer, calmer, or more ready to face the next thing. An avoidant comfort watch leaves you more stuck, more guilty, or more disconnected. The same episode can be medicine or escape depending on how it is used. That is why the question is not, should I stop rewatching? A better question is, what am I asking this show to do for me tonight? Am I resting, regulating, reconnecting, avoiding, or just enjoying something I love? There is nothing childish about needing familiar stories. Humans have always returned to repeated tales, songs, rituals, and characters. Repetition is one way the mind makes the world feel less chaotic. A comfort show is a small emotional shelter. It offers predictability when life is uncertain, companionship when people feel far away, nostalgia when the present feels thin, and simplicity when choice becomes exhausting. So when you press play on the same episode again, your brain may not be refusing new experiences. It may be choosing a known emotional temperature. It may be saying tonight, I do not need surprise. I need somewhere safe to land. And if this kind of psychology helps you understand your own brain a little better, remember to like the video, subscribe for more mind and behavior explainers, and share it with someone who has a comfort show they always return to.